Welcome to a very special edition of Morvay Minute, episode 5.3, presented by Rich Green Lawns, professional lawn and shrub care, and the preferred fertilization partner of the Lakewood BlueClaws. For more, visit richgreenlawns.com or call 732-370-5963, 732-370-5963. I'm Greg Jamborisi, joined by Mike Morvay, BlueClaws head groundskeeper, on a foggy, rainy Saturday morning, May 23rd. At FirstEnergy Park. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing well, Gregory. How are you doing?
Doing well. All right, so rain, fog. For the most part, weather's been pretty good in May. Obviously, no action on the field. We know about that, but how's the field doing now here on May 23rd?
Field's doing great with no action. It's getting rest. It's not a fun time for us. I'd rather see the team here, rather have them playing on it, and rather have them beat it up. Rather have our high school events and all that stuff, because it gives me a challenge through the month of May, through the month of April. And, we went through a stretch that we had no rain for a week. We finally got rain today, as you can see. But overall, the field's holding up very well.
So what kind of work are you doing on the field just to kind of keep it in decent shape here?
So once a month, I'm still doing my edging routine, edging the infield, edging the warning track, trying to, still dragging it once or twice a week to keep the weeds down. Because if you don't drag the infield or warning track, you're going to get grass growing in it. You're going to get weeds in it. So try to do that once or twice a week. Mowing it every other day with the triplex field mower. Still doing my spray routine, which I started last Friday. So we're still going through the fertilization program, the summer patch program, which is a disease that Kentucky bluegrass gets. So we're still doing our preventative stuff in hopes that we're going to have a season.
What have you faced any challenges at this time, or just because the use has been limited to non-existent that it's just kind of maintenance work?
I mean, the only challenge I had was at one point I couldn't really keep up with mowing it. It was growing so fast. So, I slowed the growth down. And, when you're used to mowing it every day, April and May, and keeping up with it at a 1-inch height, it's not that easy to change the height of our mower, without having a full-time mechanic. And, so I had to spray a growth regulator to slow the growth down of the field, but now we got it under control. We can mow it every other day. A lot of people don't realize that you're only supposed to take 1/3 of the plant off. So with that, me still working at the school during the day, I wasn't able to mow it every day. That's been the biggest challenge. During the season, we're here for 7 games, so those 7 games, it's getting mowed every day. So that's the biggest challenge.
For those that ask, what's the importance of continuing to mow the field as often as you want to, even though there's no use on it?
Just because, if you let it grow 2-3 days, we don't have a rotary mower that we can just mow the field with. So my height is set at 1 inch. And it's 11 braided reel mower, which gives you a closer cut with a bed knife. With a rotary mower, I can start it at 3 inches, drop it down to 2 inches, and take the plant back down to 1 inch. With the reel mower, it's a lot complicated to change the height. So with that being said, that's why we try to mow it every other day or every day if we're allowed to. Because the mowing rule is the 1/3, take 1/3 of the plant off. You see a lot of homeowners out there don't cut their grass. They take, they let it grow 5-6 inches, and then they just go out there and try to cut it. And you're leaving clumps, and you're also taking, and then you turn it yellow because you scalped it. So we don't want to turn the field yellow. We don't want to show any scalp marks. We also have, it's a different type of mower, so that's the big reason why we do that.
This is Morvay Minute, episode 5.3, presented by Rich Green Lawns, professional lawn and shrub care, preferred fertilization partner of the BlueClaws. Go to richgreenlawns.com for more. Now, I don't exactly know how it was last night at about 10 o'clock when we would have been in the, ninth inning or so, but we've had, as you know, Mike, over the years, several games. They're always in May, impacted by fog. And last night was kind of one of those nights where it could have happened. Today looks like one of those days where, it could have happened. We had one in the 17th inning a number of years ago, 2015, 14, 15. I'm sure you remember that. What do you remember about these fog games over the years?
The fog games are not as fun because there's no way of telling when it's going to lift or if it's going to lift. I do remember that game very well. Our manager was
17 inning one.
Our manager was Sean Williams at the time.
Okay, so that was 2015 then, not 14. That was 15.
So the umpire goes to me with Sean and the visiting umpire, the visiting manager at the time, and he goes, "You don't have a fog radar." And I looked at the umpire and I said, "No, there's no such thing as a fog radar." I said, "We look at the sky and we see it as soon as it starts coming down off the lights and starts settling down even further, we're done." I said, "Once the fog rolls in, we're going to wait our 30 minutes that we have to by league rule, and we're going to be done." I said, "It's not going to lift." And he goes, you don't have a fog radar." So I continued to say, "No, I will see you in 30 minutes. And I walked back with Sean to the dugout, and he goes, "How come you don't have a fog radar?" And I said, "There's no such thing." And Sean was joking with it now. And then every time that, we have a fog game, I always text Sean and say, "I wish I had my fog radar." And then every time that I go and see Sean down in Clearwater or Reading or wherever he's at, he always brings up the fog game. So that's how I always remember. I mean, it's one of the tough things to do. You can't predict it. You like with the rain, I could look at the radar and say, "Hey, it's going to be here in 10 minutes."
Yeah.
How heavy it's going to be. There's no such thing as a fog radar.
Sure.
But the umpire thought there was.
That's funny. The other one, though, that was in 15. There was one 2 years ago with Greensboro, and Marty was the manager here. Todd Pratt was the manager for Greensboro. They stopped the game after the 7th inning, and both managers were trying to get extra at bats for their guys. But the other one that I remember most was 2016. We were playing against Delmarva here, 2017. Delmarva here in Lakewood, and Lakewood had a lead through 5, and the fog was pretty bad. And they should have stopped the game at that point. Everybody could have figured it out. And I don't know how he did it, but Ryan Miner was the manager of Delmarva, and he somehow convinced the umpires that his team should get to bat in the top of the 6th, even though there was no way Lakewood was going to get to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Had they stopped the game at the end of the 5th, it would have been over. Ball game over, complete game. Lakewood was up, I think, 2-1. And they end up starting the top of the 6th for no reason. And the fog was pretty bad. And they got the first 2 outs of the inning. And then Adonis Medina walked a guy. And then the next batter for Delmarva hit a routine fly ball to center, the most can of corn fly ball in the history of baseball. And Mickey Moniak had no idea, couldn't see the ball. The fog was too thick, had no idea where the ball was. It landed 20 feet away from him. The guy scored from first, and now it's no longer an official game. You had to resume. We had to resume the game the next day. Delmarva ends up winning the game. I remember Marty wasn't too happy about that one. That was Ryan Miner gets the credit for that one. I don't know how what he said to convince the umpires to start that top of the 6th inning, but that legit cost the BlueClaws a win on that night.
I don't remember exactly that conversation, but I do exactly remember when Marty goes out and yells at the umpire, and I'm standing there, and not much I could do.
No.
We waited our delay and we resumed it the next day. But to this day, Marty still brings it up. have a conversation with Marty at least once a week, and it comes up on the conversation every time about how we lost that game. And he said, and if I remember correctly, both managers agreed that they didn't care. They just wanted the player safety. But whatever Ryan said to the umpire at the time convinced them.
Yeah, there was another one. Tyler Visa pitched for Lakewood, and he was cooking. He threw 4 scoreless innings. He was pitching great, and the BlueClaws scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd or 4th inning on 3 straight routine fly balls to left field that the left fielder couldn't see. Like, no idea where they were. They were routine plays, but he just couldn't see them because of the fog. They all dropped in for doubles. All 3 guys scored, and Pete Rose Jr. was the manager of Kannapolis at the time, and they had to stop the game because of the fog. And then it was the last meeting of the half between the 2 teams, so the game got stopped as an unofficial game before the conclusion of the 5th inning. It was never resumed. So poor Visa didn't get his 4 scoreless innings in the stat book, as if they never happened. And then 3 guys didn't get, RBI doubles or whatever it was, but they didn't deserve the RBI doubles, but he deserved his 4 scoreless innings.
I mean, I've always, like I said, when the fog rolls in, I always start pacing in the dugout and just try to hopefully we're through 5 and somebody's at least winning, just because you know what's gonna happen. We're not gonna play I've never seen us finish a game on the same day once the fog rolls in.
No. Yeah, you're right. Every time. Once you stop, you're done for the day.
We're done for the day. So, once it rolls in off the ocean and settles in here, it's not going anywhere till the next morning. So, it's one of those tough calls. Like, what do you do? I mean, obviously, if we were home today, we would be able to play if it stopped raining. But it's tough. Mother Nature likes to throw curveballs at us, and we try to hit them hard, or we swing and miss sometimes.
What is your homeowner's tip of the month?
So the homeowner's tip of the month is if moving into the month of June, you want to try to get your insecticide out with fertilizer. If you don't want to do that, you want to go a little bit IPM approach. You can just put straight fertilizer out and hope that the little animals don't eat your grass, the weevils and the grubs and all that, and all those fun animals. But you can always just call Rich Green Lawns and get a consultant from them and hire them as a thing. But you want to get your insecticide out in the month of June. And if you haven't got your dimension out, you want to get that out right here before the end of May.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate a few minutes. This is Morvay Minute, episode 5.3, presented by Rich Green Lawns. Go to richgreenlawns.com or call 732-370-5963. They are the official lawn and shrub care provider of the BlueClaws. Thanks, Mike. We'll talk to you in June.
Thanks, Gregory.